It's hard to believe these quaint and clean downtown Fort Worth streets have so much seedy history, but in fact, if you take a look back some 100 years ago or so, you'll find a rabbit hole of stories filled with sin and debauchery. Welcome to Hell's Half Acre.
It's an inherent tension of Fort Worth that we have a district like the Acre.
The area known as Hell's Half Acre was actually larger than its name suggests. It would have been unofficially bound by Throckmorton and Jones Street on the west and east sides, by Lancaster over on the south end, 9th or so on the north side. But the kind of activity that took place here would have extended to where Sundance Square sits today. Time period would have been 1870s to about 1920.
Hell's Half Acre originally emerged from the major cattle drives that would come through Fort Worth. Very much kind of catering to the things that the cowboys wanted. You come in off of the railroad and then you find your way into it.
And according to local historian Brendan Smart, those things the cowboys wanted didn't agree with the Victorian values of the time.
Drinking establishments, gambling, dance halls, and prostitution.
The Acre had it all on every single block and every corner.
It's human nature at a high pitch.
First, it was the cowboys moving north that indulged. Later, railroad men, and in some cases, even business folks who would travel to Fort Worth from time to time.
In some ways, you can think of Hell's Half Acre as being a bit like Las Vegas. I mean, it's a place very much catering to a human desire for adventure.
Historians agree the Acre was Fort Worth's dirty but widely known secret, a wild red light district. Even with laws on the books prohibiting most of the activity, the illegal and oftentimes dangerous pastimes went unchecked, mainly because enforcement was abysmal. And, well,
the reality of the time was that business kind of came first.
It brought the city of Fort Worth a lot of money in those early days and in the decades that followed, mainly through fines, payoffs, and some legitimate transactions.
Sometimes those laws are simply being enforced to collect fines and fees that in essence were paying for lawmen's salaries. And this town has survived and thrived because it has a whole lot of hustle.
The Acre, packed with its loose morals, thrived for about 50 years. While it had plenty of iterations throughout, the main attractions were always free-flowing booze, gambling, and lots of dates with women of the night. As Smart put it, male patrons would
have some conversation and some company.
All of it really ended with one outcome, separating the men in the Acre from the money in their pockets.